I was outside and I looked up and there was a gorgeous full moon, almost full moon. Oh, I gotta turn my ghost on. So I thought, you know, hang on. Should we have them flashing? Hang on. It's kind of flat, it's kind of cheap. It just goes out anyway. Anyway, so we'll wait a little while for people to show up because you know me, I just spontaneously come on and I think I've reset the Wi-Fi, so, and I'm not going to be doing channeling, which requires me to have my eyes closed, and then when the Wi-Fi goes down in the middle of that, it's beyond frustrating. Welcome to Friday Night Live. We have so much to talk about. So, yeah, the full moon is coming. You can probably feel it. I kind of forgot. But today it was like, ooh, I feel great intensity. And it was beyond the news. Yahoo, here we are. Tell your friends. Come on. It's something to do. If you don't have a life, it's something to do. I'm kidding. We have fun. We're playing hooky from work, maybe later. I know, isn't it cute? Okay, so when we have more people on, I'm going to tell you what I named the ghost. Okay? Here we are. Now, since you're here, and if it's Friday night where you are, which for most of you, it's Friday night. This is the big tell that you don't have a date. All right, let's see. What have we? So much. In the forefront of the news has been Herschel Walker. I guess in the more forefront of the news is Vladimir Putin and his insanity. And, you know, a few days ago I woke up to China wants to invade Taiwan. I think that I just feel like we really need to come together in a spirit of hope. But not just hope, faith. And I think that's what Joe Biden's been saying. Keep the faith to the people in Florida especially. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. We've been through so much before. It's not lost on me that the Cuban Missile Crisis took place in 1962, and it's 2022, so 60 years later, we're back to the Cuban Missile Crisis kind of a vibe. So it's really it's quite mind-boggling that we're here in this place where, you know, Putin's threatening nuclear war. Now, let me tell you, well, not nuclear, well, nuclear war, because he's, you know, he's saying that he wants to launch a nuclear weapon. Now we have North Korea going bananas, and I'll tell you one thing for sure, according to my psychic facts, you know, that's what I call them. That means I feel strongly about these things, and they're to me, they're facts. To you, that's up to you to decide. But with China being bold, you know, Xi being like, oh, we're going to show how tough we are. We're going to take over Taiwan, just like Putin went ahead and invaded Ukraine. So there's that going on. And I really know, and you probably feel this too, that Trump ruined our reputation on the world stage. Trump made it look like it's easy to snow the United States, or to, you know, to be brash and to just push and push and push and, you know, get away with it. Not to mention he stole our secrets. So I'm going to say throughout this video to hit the thumbs up because it helps my visibility, which does encourage me to go on live more often. So you know, we're in a weird time because we've never been so not feared, and that's because of Trump. We've never been so not feared by enemies to the United States, and Trump is really proud of these sort of friendships that he has with, he's in love with Kim Jong-un. And I know that other psychics might say otherwise, but I thought, I picked up a year or two ago that it's not actually Kim Jong-un, it's a double. He has different energy. So I know other psychics might not say that, but that's my impression. But just as dangerous, just, like, it's almost like they put the Kim Jong-un in a mold, they found a lookalike. But it's the same plan of action. And the plan of action of our enemies is to take out the United States, let's be honest. I'm not predicting that, I'm just saying let's just be frank, because I think it's really important for us to talk. And we can kind of talk through the chat, too. I'll do my best to follow along, even though it keeps going out. Oh, by the way, if I have anyone who wants to be moderators, that's always helpful. It makes the whole chat less distracting. So, and just a word about my Wi-Fi. I apologize for the channeling session on Wednesday just going down. But I just couldn't. It went down and then I couldn't come back on and do a channeling because I had my eyes closed, and it's like, I don't know if you guys heard what you heard. We're working on that. I've reset everything, so hopefully this is good. Hopefully this is good. So, okay. All right, let me see if I'm able to do that. I think I just almost, okay. I got 2 in a row that want to moderate. I almost put you both on anyway, but okay, good. Excellent. Thank you. Indigenous Peoples Day, Monday. Today I was thinking, when I was a kid, a day like today, I mean, if we went from kind of wintry fall to summer, I have the window wide open. The other day I almost went to get my heater out of storage and then and put my fan away. I'm glad I didn't. So we used to call it Indian summer, but now with the, because it was like, we had Columbus Day back then too, so it's Indigenous People Summer. Maybe people call it that. So today it's really warm, like summery here. Should we start with Herschel Walker? Let's start there. Let's not start with the heavy, scary stuff. But definitely, it is true that Donald J. Trump has made this nation extremely unstable. And sometimes all we really have, because we do feel powerless in the face of it, and sometimes all we really have is our positive, intentions, and if you pray, we have that, and it's just, it's a test of our faith. It truly is. You call it false fall? Where do you live? False fall. That's like a tongue twister. But I mean, it was warm today. It was like, shorts and t-shirt. Well, see, here's the thing about, I know I'm going to read on Herschel Walker, but here's the thing about Putin. It's like, and I thought this all along, maybe you did too, he invades Ukraine and then, just blasts the hell out of Ukraine, just like destroys really everything, the infrastructure, just everything. And what's he going to do with it? How do you rebuild that? And that's how you know he's just way off. Well, there's many ways that Putin is way off, but he can't rebuild Ukraine. So we're dealing with that level of insanity. And we're reading on Herschel Walker first, but we'll go to the situation in Russia too. What kind of question do we want to ask about our buddy Herschel? Yeah, it's pretty here. I think we're almost on peak season, peak foliage. While I have you here too, I have a class tomorrow on casting, the magic of casting spells. Anybody want to join? Because I've been a really bad marketer about that. AnetteDion7@gmail.com. Send me an email if you want to learn about spell casting. It's really fun. I grew up around Witch City, so it's a real deal. I'll remind you repeatedly. I'll just be like a commercial. Herschel Walker. Okay, so we're just gonna look at 3 cards about. Well, I'm talking about Herschel Walker, and I hear sirens going by in the background, so I think he might be in trouble for something. Oh, that's a good question. Are the polls really real? I don't think any polls are real. I just think they're so off. So this is Herschel Walker. Oh, Herschel Walker. He's not sleeping at night. And not sleeping at night is making him sound even worse. Really, this is really challenging. What he's done is he's stepping all over what he says. He'll say something and then he'll contradict it, and then he'll say something again and then he'll contradict that. So it's like, well, what is it, Herschel? Did you do that? Is that a true thing or is it not? And so when he says he's received absolution or whatever, however he puts it, he says that, and then it's like, well, if you're saying that you received forgiveness and that you're all good with God about it because you repented, then that, it's just like saying, it's just like, being pardoned by Trump. It's like, well, that means you committed a crime. So if Herschel Walker is out there saying, well, I've, come to Jesus and, I've repented, then that means there must have been something to repent for. So he's just stepping all over himself. And this is extremely challenging for Mr. Herschel Walker. Extremely. The Queen of Swords, this woman with whom he had impregnated her and with whom he had a child, 2, is taking him down. Let's look at the boy, we live in really interesting times because it is amazing how much the Republicans haven't said. Is this scandal going to take Herschel Walker down? Let's ask the question. I don't think I'm being clear. Will Herschel Walker lose because of this scandal? I'm getting a yes on that. Is Herschel Walker going to lose because of this scandal? Lisa Sharp, I know that people are saying that people don't care, but that's not what I pick up. I don't pick that up at all. I mean, I really don't. When it first happened, I went, that's going to change a lot of people's minds, especially, of course, the people that were on the fence. It's gonna change a lot of people's minds. Thank you for acknowledging all my hard work. I know you guys appreciate it. That's why I'm here. I want to hang out with my friends, my virtual friends. So I disagree with all the pundits that are saying this won't matter. I know that you hear the right-wing extremists saying that, but are they normal? Let me just tell you something. There are more normal people out there than unnormal people. Just so you know. There are way more normal people. I don't think it was a small percentage. I don't think it was a small percentage that were on the fence. I think that people are kind of locked in to, like, if they grew up in a Republican household, if they're used to being lifelong Republicans, they would just vote in that direction. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people that will just go by name recognition, which is a little bit of the reason why people voted for Trump, because it was that familiarity. You're an unnormal people? Well, I'm not normal. If you're normal, you can raise your hand. All right, whoever's normal, there's no such thing as normal. There's no such thing as perfection. I think there are more people that were put off by this than is being reported. And who can really say for sure? That's why the psychics are here, right? I wish I could see better. Well, 45 got so much support. Well, let's see. He got support because Putin meddled in our election. That's factual. Not just psychic facts. Putin meddled in our election. Russia meddled in our election. That's a known fact. And how they meddled, let me just give you a little class. How Russia meddled in the election was through social media, primarily, which was what brainwashed people into believing that that Trump was the guy and not Hillary. So so it's all in the Mueller report. Bob Mueller, I felt so sorry for Bob Mueller because he was caught right in that, that sort of transition of between America being a normal, speaking of normal, a sane country that had rules, that, where you had boundaries and things that we just, nobody did these things. Like, nobody took Secret Service documents. Like, there were certain givens. And Bob Mueller got caught in the middle of that. And he just did the report. He didn't, I think he was retired, right? So Russia meddled in the elections, and it was like through financing and through social media, which Russia has mastery over in the area of psychological warfare. So Trump had the name recognition. People thought he was successful because he's all about smoke and mirrors and pretending he's successful. And I've always thought that Trump is broke. He doesn't have any liquid assets. And also that whole, besides the manipulation psychologically of doing mind control through the internet, besides that, because he ran as a Republican, the Republicans automatically went there. They automatically went there. Plus, they were being influenced by social media to go there, to vote for Trump. And even after the Access Hollywood tape came out, the Republicans were just so dead set on getting Trump in office so that they could do their shenanigans. There I go, sounding like Joe Biden. Their malarkey. And that's what happened. What's happened is people's minds have been hijacked. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, are you, where are you, Lisa? What's going on? You must be, you're in Canada, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, the rest of the world's horrified. So the rest of the world is horrified that Trump got into office too. Remember, it was the largest protest march ever when the Million Women's March was happening. The largest protest ever in history. And remember all the people in Europe demonstrating and having big balloons of Trump in diapers, like baby Trump? This is corruption. Okay, you're in Canada. I know, I bet you were. Is it buffering? I'll come back if it is. I'm gonna wait. Oh, nice, near Niagara Falls. Let me know if it's buffering. I'll just leave and come back. Okay. So I'll keep an eye on the chat in case that's happening. I noticed that's been happening to Milu also. So the general consensus is not, it looks like not for most people. Okay. I reset the thing, so we'll see. I can be more persistent when I'm not having my eyes closed and channeling, which I will do one of those again. Okay. Where the consensus is not buffering. All right. Well, it's just the odds are for somebody it's going to be buffering. So the conclusion with Herschel Walker, I didn't get that he was going to win. I'm sensing a tie. I'm sensing a tie in terms of as it gets closer, it's still going to look like a tie. Okay, excellent. Thank you for your feedback. I'm going to actually look now. The female, the Princess of Swords. This is no, it was the Queen of Swords. But I'm just going to throw out the Princess of Swords. It looks like that woman is gonna take him down. It does. It looks like she's going to take him down in terms of people, are looking at him going, well, it's kind of scary. Because what people have not really thought about, and they'll be forced to think about it, is this. Excuse me. that this isn't a popularity contest. This is literally about quality of life. And for a lot of people, it's about whether people get to live. So when people really think, those that can think about, what's at stake here, the Midas Touch, those guys that have that YouTube, and I definitely totally encourage you to subscribe to Midas Touch if you don't already. They sent out a newsletter and they had a selection of billboards to choose from. It was like a contest who has the best, whose billboard is best. So they had billboards that they had designed of the different candidates. And the one for Herschel Walker is the one I voted for, because there was a picture of Herschel Walker on the billboard, and it said, in quotations, "I'm not that smart," because Herschel Walker literally said those words, "I'm not that smart." So when it comes down to voting, when you look at the candidates and you know that Herschel Walker said, "I'm not that smart," and you're thinking, do I want him to be a senator representing my state? What is he going to do for me? How is he going to help me in my life? So it is going to come down to that for a lot of people. I mean, ever hear that saying, biting off your nose to spite your face? People that vote for Republicans are biting off their nose to spite their face. Need a sip of tea. So, who next? He will get votes. I do see that he will get votes, and for a lot of those people, it's a spite vote. It's an own the libs vote. What I do want to take a look at is are our policies going to be in jeopardy? The Biden administration's policies be in jeopardy, and then it would work against all of us. Because people aren't thinking about the repercussions. I don't feel like he'll win. I don't get that he'll win. I do see a closeness to the races. A lot of these candidates are insisting that they'll fight. Like Carrie Lake, for instance. Yeah. Well, I get that Warnock is going to win. Be prepared, because in Carrie Lake, in Arizona, she's already said it. She says it all the time. And, when she won in the primaries, she was, prior to that, she was already telling everybody, Carrie Lake, who's a horrible, horrible, horrible female. Horrible. Lies and is corrupt and cheats and steals. She's a bona fide criminal, Carrie Lake. She is. She'll tell you. She's going to fight. So when she won, she had nothing to say about that. Amazing, isn't it? She didn't say, oh, we need a recount. She should have. Guess credibility doesn't matter. So I do want to look at whether people in general, I'm going to ask this question, would go so far as to ruin their own lives by voting for candidates that aren't qualified. It's a thing nowadays. I mean, look, when Trump became president, I think it started with Sarah Palin. When Sarah Palin was out there sounding like an absolute idiot and making it revealed and known that she doesn't read magazines or she doesn't read things, when the criteria for holding public office took a nosedive, that's when I started to think, I should run for something. You should run for something. You don't need a brain. Herschel Walker actually stood up there and said, I'm not that smart. You don't need any qualifications. And that has to change. All right, these cards that I'm pulling have to do with whether people will vote against what this administration is doing when it really comes down to it. I could run for office, but I don't know. I got fired from playing at a church because I found out I read tarot cards. True story. It depends on if people soften their view. I have to read the chat. I have to read Chuck's chat. Yeah, I think that there's something wrong with these people's brains, and I honestly think that Herschel Walker has brain damage. So what I'm looking at right now is, will people really ultimately go for the candidates that are going to make their lives really bad? Yeah, I would run for something, but you know, a lot of people aren't willing to give up their lives. I mean, and it's giving up your life. It could be literally giving up your life. Would you run, Warren? Would you run for something? He can be controlled? Well, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I think that it's known that Herschel Walker has suffered so many concussions that he has brain damage. He acts like he has brain damage. And that's just an observation. That's not saying anything about people that have brain damage that's negative. He appears as though he had brain damage. He has brain damage. Yeah, and this has a shelf life. This toxicity of the patriarchy has a shelf life. It's not going to continue. It isn't. Ruth Bader Ginsburg told me that the other night at my short meeting with her. What's CTE? Yeah, CTE from playing football, but what is CTE? Does anybody know what that is? Oh, well, I almost forgot my question, but my question was, yeah, I know, that's what I was saying earlier about Herschel Walker. I was saying, you know, like he said, no, it's all lies, that never happens, it's the Democrats, and they're wanting to get me, and then it's like, well, your son is a staunch right-wing dude, Christian Walker, and isn't that the name of a movie star too? Chronic traumatic encephalopathy. Did you think we knew what that meant? That's good. 20 points for that word. You get the bell. I'm getting that. Yes, it's very sad what they're doing to him. It's very sad. Yeah, he has brain damage. He does. And he's a violent human being. I mean, it's bad enough that he's lying. He's a violent human being. It's documented. It's scary as hell. I wouldn't want to be in a room with him in case he snapped. Anyway, the question I'm asking is, will people vote for their own well-being? And I get yes. People will vote for their well-being. I get yes on that. So that's positive. They're going to vote for what makes them feel good about how their lives, what direction their lives can go in with the Biden administration, the Democrats staying in power. So I definitely feel like it's going to come down to that. We'll look at Carrie Lake. What I want to say about the races is, for me as a psychic, there are so many variables that it's a little bit like calling the Super Bowl. There are so many things that can happen, but I will do my best. We're able to call it usually, but it is tricky because so many things can change. I feel like at the last minute, Joe Biden is going to have something really positive happen. There's been a lot positive already. It may be as simple as the message gets out as to what the Democrats have been doing. Really, they have saved this country. Joe Biden has saved this country. And Joe Biden might literally save the world from something horrible just because of how strong he is. You trust me? Oh, that means so much. It does. It totally does. Psychics like to hear that. We take a lot. Oh, it's Saturday morning in Australia. Well, I hope you're having a nice cup of tea. Maybe do you have biscuits there? This is good. This is positive. This is positive. All right, we need some positivity, right? Okay. Throw a question up there if you want. There's plenty. We'll look at Russia now. There's plenty of questions to ask. John Kennedy and Steve Scalise. See, that's what I mean. It's like, it is. It's like, John Kennedy, I hate that he has that name, because it makes you think of JFK. But he's the extreme polar opposite, right? It couldn't be any more opposite. When Ketanji Brown Jackson had her hearing, the way that John Kennedy of Louisiana treated her was beyond the pale. It was horrifying how racist he was. He was saying something about, well, I just hope that you don't, that you're not just going to be sitting there reading those fashion magazines. Can you tell I lived in the South? Those fashion magazines, I just don't know if you're just going to be sitting around reading those fashion magazines instead of doing your job as a Supreme Court Justice. I know I didn't sound anything like him, but how about an IQ test? How about an IQ test? How about that? How about an IQ test and a psychological test? Yeah, his accent is terrible. It's just a worse. I mean, some Southern accents are really kind of sweet and charismatic and charming. Not that one. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know, that was bad. I should just delete it. Those women magazines. I mean, he was even saying that. That was horrible. John Kennedy to Ketanji Brown Jackson. We need to oust these people. This is, it's below us. Yeah, and they should take the test that people that are applying for citizenship, people that are becoming citizens. You know what? Donald Trump probably wouldn't be able to answer one test. There's so many incongruencies in our country. Like, for instance, there are people in prison, and thank God, thank you, you're so sweet. I appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. Thank God that Joe Biden, he just took the plunge today, and he said people that are incarcerated for marijuana, and I mean, there are people in prison for marijuana for 20 years, for having a half an ounce a pot of an herb that grows from the earth, that has medicinal qualities. And Donald J. Trump, who has committed thousands upon thousands of crimes and treason and conspiracy against the United States, and I don't care what anybody says, it's absolutely been beyond proven, is walking free. There's so many incongruencies in this country. And for these people that are in positions of leadership that have low IQs and high levels of ignoramusness, that they're in positions of leadership. Like, for instance, Herschel Walker versus Raphael Warnock. Extreme polar opposites. Extreme opposite ends of the spectrum. Raphael Warnock is a reverend. He's a speaker. He's brilliant. He has put bills on the floor. He's working. He's doing great work, and that's so incongruent that somebody like a Herschel Walker, who has brain damage and is violent, and a misogynist, and an absent father to so many children, is as far as he is on things. No, there's no comparison. Like, there's no comparing, like Donald Trump going free to a black man being in prison for 25 years for a half ounce of pot. I can't even believe it. We have to visualize the outcome that we want. We really, really, really do. Uptick 88, do you mean, are you referring to Walker? Because you're saying Warnock. What do you mean, Warnock? What are you talking about? Can you explain what you're talking about? How many amendments are there? See? I'm not sure, but I can tell you. Because one of my viewers sent me the pocket constitution like RBG used to have. There are 27 amendments. There, I have the answer right here. Warren, you can post where you got this. Moving right along. Oh, thank you. In 2001, Warnock's wife called it. So what? For what? I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know. You know, it's apples and oranges to me. Herschel Walker's ex-wife, he held a gun to her head and said he was going to blow her brains out. Thanks, Joan. Yes. We do have our meditation on Tuesdays. 20 on Tuesdays. We do a 20-minute meditation where we visualize a healed America. I said 27, right? Isn't that's what I said? 27. The last one was in 1992. This is a good thing to have. Even if you just have it on your coffee table. Okay. Russia. We're reading about Russia. We're reading about Putin. For some reason, whenever I think about Putin, I think of the similarities in the brains of Putin and Trump. He has 2 rallies this weekend. Well, I just saw a little clip of him. I saw a clip of Trump. He was speaking at some kind of Latino, conservative Latino. Did anybody see that? I've never seen him that out of it. Did anybody see that? Does anybody know how I can keep my chat on? Because this is driving me nuts. Maybe that will do it. Oh, I think I fixed it. No, maybe not. Oh, so did anybody see that when he was up in front of, he was at some kind of Latino convention, just, I don't know, yesterday maybe it was? Okay, so what happened, you have to look that up. If you go to David Pakman, Pakman, he has a little clip of it, and I saw it somewhere else too. Trump looks awful. He looks awful. He looks sick. He's slurring his words, which he was slurring his words at the rallies too. He said, "Make America gay again." He did say that. He doesn't look good. His coloring doesn't look good. Let me ask the pendulum. I'm seeing he's sliding into dementia. And at his rallies, he really doesn't make any sense. Is Trump having onset of dementia? I'm getting a yes on that. I'm getting that he's having the onset of dementia. Plus the stress. You wouldn't want his life. I think Benjamin, I think you're right on that. I think he'll keep them going until he can't do them anymore. You think his face looks good? Oh, you don't think his face looks good? Okay, that's different. No, and he definitely appears as somebody who hasn't gotten any sleep. And I feel like Herschel Walker right now is in the same boat. And probably Putin. He said he spoke to their Mexican president. Yeah, I don't know what the convention was. Did he he really say that? So somebody's saying that Trump said he spoke to their Mexican president, but they were they were Latino Americans. That is so weird. See the two that made it to an island off Alaska. Yeah, I got lost in the conversation. Okay, we're looking at Russia. I still hold fast to my vision of the Russian people overthrowing Putin. I really do still see that. So we're picking cards about what's going to happen. It was for Latino leaders. Well, were they... Yeah, I don't know where that was. I don't know anything about that. Yeah, we do have to look at DeSantis, huh? There are people planning on taking Putin down. They're lining it up. This is a card where they're lining it up. Right now, they're making plans for taking Putin down. Yeah, Warren, you had said that before, or somebody had said that. Edgar Casey said out of Russia will come the hope or something. Which would make sense. Which would make sense, because I actually feel ultimately Russia's going to be a democracy. I feel that. Is that accurate? Yeah, the pendulum's saying yes. Yes. And I have to say, this is a shout out to Autumn at Black and Orange, if anybody watches her. And I do listen to her, and I'm going to reach out to her because she said she's going to invite some psychics on for her birthday, which is November 6th, 2 days before Election Day. So yesterday on her show, somebody mentioned that in Ukraine, they have, it's just so funny. In Ukraine, there's a hotline for Russian soldiers that want to defect. They want to escape. It's a crazy world that we live in. It's a crazy world. Okay. We're gonna look at Putin. We're gonna see what's going on with Putin. Oh, that's right. Today is his birthday. Oh, let's take a look at how Putin's birthday's doing. Please hit the thumbs up if you're having a good time at the party. It makes a big difference. I didn't know how much difference it really made. And thank you for hitting the thumbs up if you already have. And please subscribe. We're looking at how Putin's doing on his birthday. Putin's birthday. Well, he's feeling a little trapped. Putin's feeling a little trapped. As Uptick says, is Putin on his deathbed. What do you think? Does that look like he might be on his deathbed? Maybe. He looks a little trapped. People have considered poisoning him. People have considered poisoning him. Is that factual? He's in the forest? I feel like there's a woman around Putin who is going to kind of tell him what he should do next. Is that an actual human? But I really think there's talk of poison. I feel like the worst acupuncture ever. He needs to be done. Yeah, he needed to be done a long time ago. I feel like there's a woman who's trying to, talk to him. Oh, thank you, Joan. It's good. I appreciate it. When I ask people to hit the thumbs up, they do. You guys are awesome. Is this an actual female person? I'm getting that a female in Russia is talking to him. Yeah, Autumn is great. She's really good, and she's so dedicated, and I want to just, support what she's doing. She shows up every day, and that is not easy. Autumn at Black and Orange shows up every day. There's a woman. You think he died? What? For some reason, your comments not coming out very. I can't see it all. Yeah, Autumn has great fingernails. I am going to reach out to her. So, someone's thinking about poisoning him. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it's being discussed. And there's a female. I'm wondering if it's one of his daughters trying to talk to him. We spoke it at the same time. Is it one of his daughters? No, I don't get that it's one of his daughters. I'm not saying he'll be poisoned. I'm saying it's been discussed. They'll eliminate him? What do you mean eliminate him if he tries to get away? Is Putin in hiding right now? Oh, I'm getting that he's in hiding. Mistress. I'm trying to figure out who the woman is. And actually, a long time ago, when this first happened, Linda G and I were both getting that there was a woman. His baby mama? You can say on YouTube. Alright, who's this woman around Putin? Is it a relative? It's not a relative. Is it a person in a political position? It's a person in a political position in Russia. But it looks female. Yeah, actually, thank you, Judith, for the compliment. I get the same exact thing. I have said that about the midterms. We're still on Putin, and we'll get to the midterms, but I know the midterms are going to be hellish. And personally, I'm going away to pray a couple weeks before. I really am. I'm not going to like an ashram, but I'm just going away to calm my mind, which I did before January 6th also. So, I just knew something was coming. There's a woman. There's a woman. Okay, so it feels like somebody in a position, a kind of a political position. No, this feels like someone in a political position. Is she going to succeed at talking him out of the war? Yeah. Yeah, definitely she'll succeed in talking him out of this nuclear strike ridiculousness. What's he thinking? I need a new chair. Anyway, or just a better cushion. I feel like Ukraine is gaining. I said gains for Ukraine, gains for Ukraine, gains for Ukraine. We're in a tough place, but if we all get on board with thinking the same way, I'm coaching people in my Grassroots of Democracy group. Get your minds going in the right way. I don't feel like he's in a bunker. I feel like Putin is in a house. He was blood poisoned when he was KGB? Oh, that's it. That might be one of his deepest fears. Yeah. Anyway, let's take a look at the midterms. I really do get that the midterms are going to be very rough. I mean, you think about people like Carrie Lake, who just said, absolutely, I'm not going to lose. I'm going to fight it. I'm going to, like this is their attitude. Doug Mastriano. I mean, absolutely, he's just going to fight it. So they will lose, but they will do what Donald Trump did. But I don't mean an insurrection. They will fight it. They're trying to turn this country into a country where voting is not a thing. Donald Trump said it right out loud. Yeah, I am going to reach out to Autumn at Black and Orange Tarot. We're both into Halloween too. And you know the Halloween deck? I have that deck. I've had it forever. But I do get that the American people will prevail. And I do get that democracy will prevail. I do get that. But I do not get that it's going to be easy by any means. I do get that it's going to make us bond together as a humanity. So we have some rough patches coming up. But we can make it through. You know, sometimes the rough patches teach us what we're made of. Well, yeah, they do have to pay for recounts. That's true. But they might take a page out of the Trump playbook and not pay their bills, right? I don't want to look at the midterms just yet. There was something else. It was Ron DeSantis. Did you see the photoshopped pictures he wore these ridiculous white boots that looked so stupid on him. Besides the fact that there were people that were trying to bring aid and water and food to people in need, and Ron DeSantis made them stop so he could do a photo shoot. It's true. I saw it. Yep. It was bad. So, so he was wearing these stupid looking rain boots that were white, and there were people photoshopping it into looking like the kinky boots that the green M&M, when they dressed her up like a lady, they put those boots on him. It's so funny. I put it on my community page. You might have seen it. Seriously. Chuck is putting a quote up there that's actually, you know, reminds me a long time ago. Remember Saddam Hussein? You know, I was so upset. There was a war going on over there, and somebody said to me, this woman told me that when Saddam Hussein was a baby, when he was in the womb, his mother, I don't know, she must have hated her, whoever his father was, Saddam Hussein. Somebody told me that she used to throw herself up against a wall when she was pregnant to try to kill the baby in her womb. So I'm just saying that somebody like Saddam Hussein was like abused before he even came into the world, when he was in the womb. So if you wonder how people get to be so horrible, there's a dark history in their past, plus their past lives. Because as far as Putin goes, Putin, I mentioned this in one of my videos, that he was Prince Oleg, O-L-E-G. Look up Prince Oleg, O-L-E-G. He was in Viking times, and he was barbarically vicious, really murderous person. I don't know why I'm a little bit stuck on Putin, so I'm gonna look at his fate. Like, what happens to him as a soul? What happens to Putin as a soul? Oh, when he crosses over, he's gonna regret the error of his ways. I don't know if Putin's soul will incarnate again. Hello. Yeah, send white light. But yeah, this is Putin's soul. Bad. And it looks like, I don't know, I think his soul will stay on the other side for a long time. It looks like he'll have an opportunity to incarnate as a good person, his soul. I know it's hard for us to imagine that, but you know, we get reincarnated, and we get another chance to right our wrongs, but I don't know if it's possible for him to right his wrongs. That's for sure. Okay, now we'll go to Ron DeSantis with the kinky white boots. They were like, they were up to the knee too. Really funny. You know, it just reminds us that we have to have a sense of humor to get through these crazy times. We made it through 4 years of Trump. I know it's still going on, but you know, it's way different when he doesn't have you know, he doesn't have like total power. It's way different. So we made it through 4 years of that. Well, more than 4 years, but I mean, just of him being do I have a pair of what? Oh, boots. I totally forgot we were talking about boots. I don't have rain boots. You're funny. I do not have rain. Oh, you know, the spiky ones? No, I don't have them. Okay, so go-go boots. So funny. All right, I'm going to Ron DeSantis. You notice that I'm like delaying going to Ron DeSantis? The governor's white boots. Ho! And now someone's singing. One of those days these boots will walk all over him. I'll tell you something, to see the picture of Biden, doing his thing, being a nice guy, connecting to the citizens of Florida, and then, yeah, his boots were really white. It's true. It's like Ted Cruz after all those poor people froze to death in Texas. And did you see that? So Ted Cruz, he gets his cameraman out there and he's like, oh, take a video of this. So Ted Cruz has a video of himself taking a case of water out of the hatchback of somebody's car. And then Ted Cruz has some video of him after that Texas disaster when the grid failed. He's so disgusting. And I've said before about Ted Cruz that I got the psychic impression one day that he smelled really bad. And then I think I might have been doing a live. And somebody said in college, Ted Cruz's, people that knew him in college, they didn't like that about him, that he smelled. So Ted Cruz, after that Texas, the power grid failure, where people froze to death, it was the most horrible thing. They were burning their furniture, they were burning everything. People died, and then he shows a video. He makes a video of himself. Well, first, putting the water in the hatchback, and then rolling up a rug. He was rolling up a rug. Oh, and he's like carrying a rug down the stairs like it had gotten damaged. Let's get rid of these people. What do you say? Let's get rid of these losers. They need to go. Ron DeSantis. Hasn't happened yet, but I feel like Disney's going to fork out a whole bunch of money to help Floridians. I did get that. I got that Disney would fork out like $3 to $4 billion. I don't think Abbott's going to get... Why are you saying that, Joanna? Why are you saying that Abbott's going to get reelected again? Come on. Tell me why you're saying that. We're on DeSantis right now. Is Disney going to help Florida? Financially, Disney's going to help Florida. I think Disney has to repair its own Disney World right now. Thank you, Lisa Sharp. It's much appreciated. When you hit the thumbs up, I have huge visibility. Wow, it's really going up there. Thank you. If you'd like to book a reading, it's AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. Ron DeSantis. This is Ron DeSantis. This is Ron DeSantis right now. He's not looking so good. He's had to surrender. Ron DeSantis has had to surrender because he can't be helping all the Floridians, nor does he want to. Just saying. Ron DeSantis is because it's all about him. So this reminds me. Oh, that's a good idea to have a cruise ship company dock a ship. You know what I was wondering? I was wondering where all those cruise ships went during the hurricane. I don't know. So here's the thing. Ron DeSantis thought he had it going on. Here's the parallel. Trump thought he had it going on in 2020. Yeah, Beto's great. Trump thought he had it going on in 2020, and what hit? COVID. And if COVID hadn't happened, Trump would have been reelected and the world might have ended. I'm serious. This is Ron DeSantis. This is Ron DeSantis's COVID. Yeah, but they must have gotten some big surf or something in Miami if the cruise ships were there. They had to have. They repositioned the cruise ships. Oh, and they're so huge too. It's interesting because in the face of this disaster, Florida gets some much needed help. Yeah, and the same thing, like we all know that about COVID, right? Like Trump was slated to win the White House again. He really was. People thought he was doing a good job. The economy was strong. I hate that people base who they vote for on the economy, because it's kind of like they're not that connected, nor are gas prices that connected. But Trump in 2020 was slated to win. And then came COVID. Ron DeSantis was, according to his perspective, he's slated to go and win, win the governorship again. And this is Ron DeSantis's COVID. And the people in Florida are going to get a lot of help, but it's not from Ron DeSantis. He's had to surrender. He's had to surrender. He's got egg all over his face, he does. And nobody can tell me for one second that he had 1 second of compassion. I wonder where he lives. Does anyone know where Ron DeSantis lives in Florida? Like, was he affected? Probably not. I didn't get that sense. Months ago, I've mentioned this months ago. You may have heard me say it. I was telling people, like, if you live in Florida, you might want to consider moving. I was saying that months and months ago because I kept seeing this big dark cloud over Florida. And up until the hurricane, I just thought, well, maybe it was Ron DeSantis's. I thought maybe it was just like Ron DeSantis's horrible, horrible energy and the bad, horrible things that he was doing. But I literally saw a dark, huge dark cloud over Florida. And then, in Tallahassee. And I did hear about that he only wanted just money sent to him, and he's stealing that money. Don't be fooled. And I heard rescue workers and reporters on the ground that said they need everything. What happened to all the people that were praying for Trump on YouTube? What do you mean? What happened to all the people that were praying for Trump on YouTube? I don't know what you mean. I need more information. Yes, I do see another one coming for Florida. I have said that. I saw 7 hurricanes. Pretty big. But then when I looked at the list, when I saw the Weather Channel, I think that was the 6th one. There is another hurricane coming for Florida. That doesn't even take a psychic if you ask me. It's not going to be as big. I think I said that on my last video. The preachers stopped praying for Trump? Are you sure? Really? Did they take the YouTubes down or something? She said don't expect the government to help. If the RNC calls you, definitely hang up. But if the RNC called me, they would be sorry. If the Republican National Committee called me, they would be sorry. They would be sorry. Are you referring, when you say she didn't look well, are you referring to Ron DeSantis' wife? Yeah, actually, Colbert has some places that he's mentioned to give to. Don't give money to anything that has anything to do with Ron DeSantis. He is a thief. He is he's a sociopath and a thief. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I am saying that as a diagnosis. Yes, gerrymandering is a problem. We have lots of problems. We definitely do. Is Ron DeSantis going to lose the governorship over this? Well, she had breast cancer, his wife. Maybe she's not doing so well because of all the stress. I could see that. Wait. Okay, I have a couple questions on my mind, so I need to be clear. Let's first ask, is there going to be another hurricane, damaging hurricane? Is there going to be another real damaging hurricane for Florida? I'm getting a yes on that. Yeah, she's married to him. Well, what's her name? What's Ron DeSantis' wife's name? I don't know. The Republicans have been trying to turn this country into an autocracy for a couple decades now. Mrs. DeSantis. There you go. Smart ass. What are you from, New York? Just teasing. I thought the committee was scheduled, the January 6th committee is, you guys are funny. I thought the January 6th committee is scheduled for the 13th, next Thursday. Can we get a confirmation on that? Yes, thank you for helping me. Roberta, thanks for saying so. All right. Is Florida going to have another hurricane within the next week? I already got that they're going to have another hurricane. 2 weeks. Between 2 to 3 weeks from now, we're going to see something else. So the January 6th committee, somebody's saying it was October 13th at 1. Are you saying was because they changed it? We'll have to Google that. Oh, so oops, my pendulum just fell apart. Hang on. Maybe I'll use a different one. So let's ask. I'll just reattach it. Let's ask. Is Chris going to win the governorship? I get a yes. People are really angry at Ron DeSantis. This is the same, that's a big yes. See that? People are really angry at Ron DeSantis. He has egg all over his face. He really does. And he has no mud on his boots. Okay, so 10/13, so that's on that's next Thursday, right? That's next Thursday. By the way, the full moon, can you see the full moon from where you are? Anybody? I saw it. I was driving. I was glad that I went to do an errand I had to do because I got to catch the beautiful moon. Have you seen the moon? Casey DeSantis. It's Casey DeSantis. Yeah, so still sunny here. Oh, so you must be on the West Coast. Thank you, Warren, because I was just going to look. It's building. It's waxing. The moon is waxing. Go dance naked around a tree later. You're laughing. Go ahead and do it. just do it. Okay, who shall we read on next? What shall we read on next? I don't have a list of questions or anything. There's so many things. We were gonna still light in Nevada. We're gonna look at the midterms. We're just gonna look. We're gonna do like a general read on the midterms. If you like my answers and you haven't already, hit the thumbs up. I'm not just telling you what you want to hear. I really am genuinely reading. Well, Fetterman will win and Shapiro will win, and then they'll have like battles. Then the Republicans will have battles. Will the next Congress decriminalize weed? Yes. We're already on track for that. It doesn't make any sense that alcohol is not illegal and that, pot would be, still illegal. It doesn't make sense. Oh, thank you, Fire Queen. Wrench Wielder. Let's take a look at... I'm just going to pull 3 cards about... alcohol probably does more damage. That's true. Okay, so just be forewarned. I will not be able to, go to all these races and figure out who's going to win. But I'll just do a few. And one is Mastriano. How is Mastriano doing? Freezing in Colorado? Yeah, we're about to go through that big... I think it's going to get cold tomorrow. But I'm sweating right now with the window wide open. So we'll just do a few. I want to see what's up with Doug Mastriano. He is a horrible, horrible person. All right, one question at a time. Mastriano. He's a horrible, dangerous person who's been linked to, who's been part of white supremacist extremist terrorist groups. Doug Mastriano. He's an anti-Semite running against Josh Shapiro. We have to. Doug Mastriano has to go. I can't believe that people would be that for that amount of hatred and violence in a candidate. Honestly, you know, Carrie Lake's energy is so heinous. That's like sending me into the dungeon of slime. But maybe I'll look. We'll see. Mastriano. Look I'm asking about Doug Mastriano, and look what came up. This is Doug Mastriano. This is his energy. This is Doug Mastriano. This is what's going on there in Pennsylvania. It is awful. Doug Mastriano is like possessed by demons. It's really demonic. He's a murderous, horrible person, and the guides are telling me, for entertainment purposes only, that when I said murderous, that was quite accurate. So I'll just leave that at that. Yeah. Doug Mastriano is a murderous human being. Doug Mastriano was a part of the insurrection, and we know now from the trials with the Oath Keepers that they planned to, in the most heinous way possible, murder people. And Doug Mastriano was there. I mean, if you listen to what's going on with those trials, with the Oath Keepers in court, it's there must be a God in heaven that didn't happen. But Doug Mastriano was a part of that. So he's a murderer. In a nutshell, Doug Mastriano is a murderer. He has a murderous brain. Tell everybody. Well, can you be more specific, Sherry? What do you mean? By will it change people's minds what the Oath Keeper's verdict is? Gotta be more specific with that question. Yeah, so, no, you're not crazy. So, Nirajana is saying she's been feeling horrific negative energy around most Republican politicians since November 2016. No, I fell into a deep, deep, dark time during that time. Oh, it's Katie Hobbs and Carrie Lake versus Carrie Lake. Okay. So anyway, you heard it here. We need to work really hard to make sure Doug Mastriano doesn't get elected. Okay? You guys need to promise. We need to make really damn sure that Doug Mastriano does not get elected. I am serious. You're going to eat some Halloween peeps to feel better? I think I have some in my bag. I still have those pumpkins. You're making me think I might go get them. Okay, so I'm just kind of going with the guides with what they're telling, what race they want me to read on, and they wanted me to tell you about Doug Mastriano. He's a dangerous murderer. I am not kidding. Oh, well, that would be good. If you get a Dem in the governor's house in South Carolina, you might be able to get rid of Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham's not very popular right now. I'm going to read 3 cards. I'm going to take 3 cards and read them about how there's some horrible things going on with these abortion bans. Horrible. Women are dying. I mean, it's gotten to the most heinous level thinkable. But just when you think it can't get any more horrible, it seems to get more horrible. So women are dying because of these abortion bans. and Lindsey Graham's out there. All these, you know, old, if you're an older white male, don't take this the wrong way, but there are some insecure, fear-based, were bullied in childhood, white men that happen to have a lot of money and positions of power that are the most heinous human beings alive. And this abortion ban is, it's gonna be the issue. I mean, if you caught my really short clip that got cut off of me channeling Ruth Bader Ginsburg, this is the issue that's gonna tell the election. This is it. So, oh, Rand Paul. Oh my, I mean, these, if you just think about them, if you can, not for too long, right? Because gross me out. McConnell, Rand Paul, Jim Jordan, Ted Cruz, that John Kennedy. That, remember when they went down to Texas to show that all these drug dealers were coming across the border, and they looked like they're in some, I don't know, like Survivor show or something. It was unbelievable. Rand Paul. I mean, if you want a picture, a depiction of what demonic energy looks like, just think about them all on a stage. Not for too long, because you'll probably throw up. We have got to keep these people out of power. We really do. Okay. So I'll look at Carrie Lake. I'm going for the most damaging. The ones that will take this country down given the chance. Rand Paul didn't show up with his debate with Cory Booker. That should disqualify him. That should disqualify him. Really, he should be disqualified from running. Well, I you know, this whole like, here I go. I don't want to debate crap. We saw what Abbott did. Abbott, you know, these poor, I mentioned it on my video that I accidentally deleted. First of all, it was hard to find that debate between Beto and Abbott. It was hard to find it. There were families of the children, the families who lost their babies in Uvalde. That horrible shooting. Wanted to attend the debate, and Abbott wouldn't let them in. I mean, it seems like you'd have to search far and wide to find people that actually have zero conscience, that are actually this horrible of people, that are actually this bad. It seems like you'd have to search far and wide, but they're all in our government. Okay, so this is, I'm doing Carrie Lake. Hit the thumbs up if you can, if you haven't already. The Four of Pentacles, that's my card for stalled negotiations. So I'm reading about Carrie Lake. This is interesting. It's a balancing act. She's going to say that she won. And the Six of Cups says, but she didn't. This is about Carrie Lake. I need another card on that. I see that kind of stuck in limbo. I'm telling you, there are so many. Josh Hawley, the ones that were in on the insurrection. Unbelievable. Well, this is interesting because I'm not getting a straight yes or no about Carrie Lake. I'm getting a truce, like stalled negotiations. Kind of a balancing act. This race in Arizona with Carrie Lake and Hobbs, right? Is that right? Do I have that right? I think I do. Anyway, she's running against Hobbs. Yeah, Katie, right? Wait, I'm on one other race right now. I can't do them all at once. And I have read about Stacey and Kemp before, but things do change. Please give money to candidates that will save our democracy. This is about Carrie Lake. There's kind of a lot going on there. I don't feel like this is a win for her. I'm not picking up a win for her. Remember when they had the recall for Gavin Newsom and then he won? I'm feeling that kind of energy. The lover card is coming up, which means there's more love on the other side. I have no control over whether anyone gets a notification. Sorry, I just want you to know that. Zero control. What I do have control over is telling you whether I'm going to come on. And I didn't want to commit because my Wi-Fi was so wonky, but I did reset it. So far so good. So it's interesting what's going on in Arizona. I'm kind of feeling a crisis. And I had said this before, that what was going to happen that was going to turn this country more blue was natural disasters. When people got to see, and it's exactly what's happened in Florida. Exactly. And it probably doesn't take a psychic to tell people that, but I definitely saw what's going to make this country not go for Republicans, not go red, is that we're going to have all these climate disasters, all these global climate change disasters, and the Republicans are going to be like Ron DeSantis going around with those stupid dorky white boots that don't even have mud on them and interrupting the rescue workers' work so he can do a photo shoot. It's going to change people's minds when it comes down to this is life or death. We're in a crisis. Who are you going to call in a crisis? You call the Democrats. You don't call the Republicans. Look at what Ted Cruz did. Look at what Abbott did. Shortly after the Uvalde shooting, you know what Governor Abbott did? And Beto O'Rourke called him out on this. He went to a fundraising event on that day while those people were mourning the loss of those children. It was worse. It was another Sandy Hook. And he left. And he didn't give a rat's ass about those families. And he wouldn't let them into the debate. People, we need to be angry. Like the Ghostbusters. Who are you going to call? Who are you going to call? Not the Republicans. That's for sure. Oh my goodness, look at the time. I just noticed. Wow. I mean, like, really? Why would people vote for these people? Brainwashing. Yeah, he went to a fundraiser. Yeah. Well, I think that immediately after it, was it the same day? Could you believe that one? He wouldn't do the debate unless it was private. What do they have to hide? How stupid they are. That's what they have to hide. I get mad. I get really mad. Sometimes I just go off on my videos. But I know you're right there with me. Okay. Let's do a few more questions. It's okay. It was a few hours later. That's what I heard. It was a few hours later. I didn't know if it was the NRA because I think that the shooting was on a Wednesday and the convention for the rifles. I mean, and Trump was at that convention for, touting rifles and saying no to an assault weapon ban. I mean, people, if we just sit down and we think about how bad they are, we'll drop everything. We will drop everything to make sure that these people are ousted. Because they're not that far away from Putin in the way their brains are. I wish I was joking about that. Okay, so Carrie Lake, it looks like it just feels stuck. I feel a log jam. But then, thank you, Liz. I have to stay for 3 hours. Not as long as when I'm with Corey, that's for sure. But I do have a class tomorrow. I gotta tell you, well, I have a lot of you here. I have a class on casting spells, the magic of casting spells tomorrow, and I've been really a bad promoter. But if you want to take that class tomorrow, it's 2:30 to 4 Eastern time, and in a Zoom room. Send an email to AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. We will be doing some spells, casting real witch spells. Seriously. Telling you the truth. Okay. But I do have to work on some stuff. If you want to sign up, it's $50. It's an hour and a half, and you'll learn a lot about how to cast a spell. We all need to be casting spells. We need to cast a big giant spell to get the Republicans to go away. To be voted out. Okay. We're going to look at Stacey Abrams. The guides are showing me that Stacey Abrams gets a big amount of cash. I feel like somebody at the last minute. The classes are Saturdays in October. Maybe in all last minute. I didn't really have a lot of lead time. Yeah, send me an email if you want to take the class. Every Saturday from 2:30 to 4 Eastern Time. Every week I'm doing a different mystical topic. Stay away from Salem. That's right down the street. I thought today it was such a nice day. I was like, oh, I'd love to be in Salem. Totally crowded the entire month of October. Totally jammed. It wasn't like that when I was growing up, but it's crazy. So Stacey Abrams, I feel like somebody's going to give her a big, I see a big influx of a lot of cash, kind of at the last minute. And it feels like it's like a celebrity or something. I feel somebody giving her a lot of money, sort of, as it gets closer. And she might not know about it yet. Kemp is lying about Stacey Abrams. He's lying. That's the name of the game nowadays. Just lie. Didn't we learn when we were growing up, don't lie? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. What are you saying about Tyler Perry? Tell the truth. Well, yeah, Kemp is just lying his head off. I don't know what he's saying. Oh, okay. Oh, it might be her. Is it Tyler Perry? I bet he would do that. I bet he would. Oh, you know what I read today too? DeJoy, he could get ousted. Some of his people that were really keeping him there, they're not there anymore. Anyway, I was going through my bank statements for doing my taxes late, like I always get them done late. And my P.O. box has gone up a full $20 every single time I go to renew. $20. Now, I could see if they're improving the service, but I suspect that's going into DeJoy's pocket. DeJoy is extremely corrupt. Louis DeJoy. Somebody mentioned the post office, that's why I said that. We're still on Stacey Abrams. Okay, is Tyler Perry going to kick in some cash for Stacey? Oh yeah. That's what I see. Wow, and it's really going to work. Maybe I'll help her to make a commercial or something. So I feel a man coming in and helping Stacey Abrams, and I see Kemp getting really angry. I really, like, these guys are, and this is the thing about, this type of person, these sociopathic, narcissistic types. I don't know if Kemp is a sociopath, but anyway, I'm not doing a psychological diagnosis. Tyler Perry, I think, is one. It might be more. Yeah, Medea. Big fan of Medea. Big fan. The Halloween special, oh my god, I belly laugh at Medea. It's so funny. But I do see that. I see Stacey Abrams getting a lot of help. So Brian Kemp, when I tune into him, I just keep on picking up the energy of these Republicans. Like, they get really angry if somebody blows their cover. That's the thing they hate the most. If somebody blows their cover, and they all have that in common. And Brian Kemp, when Stacey Abrams gets the help, the financial help, I just see him being livid. I see him being livid. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, look at DeJoy too. I'll have to watch Witness Protection. I might watch Medea tonight. I'm supposed to play in a class, but you know, I always kind of wing it with my classes because I've been doing this stuff so long. Well, I think people do see through Republicans to a certain degree. Couple things. One is they're brainwashed by social media. That's a real thing. The other is there are a lot of people that are harboring a lot of anger that they never, just personal anger, that they never released. And so when they see somebody being heinous, it's almost like they transfer their anger onto that person. That's what happened with Trump. The people that are harboring anger, that don't own their own anger. We all have anger. If they don't own it, if we don't own our anger and process it in healthy ways so we can release it. Anger is part of the human condition. It's transferred. And so like that was the thing about Trump. It was like I'm so angry, I'm so angry, I'm so angry, I hate the world, I hate everything. And then there was this Trump kind of doing the same thing. And that's a big part of why he got, as, believe it or not, as popular as he did. So this is about Kemp. Is Kemp going to lose? I'm getting a yes on that. They enjoy others suffering. Yeah, they don't own their own horribleness. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, and I did hear a story. I followed Marianne Williamson when she was running for president, and she said that she heard that Jared Kushner and Donald Trump, before he started running for president, when he was just announcing it or about to announce it, that Jared Kushner and Donald Trump walked into a McDonald's, of course, and looked around, and Jared said to Donald, you feel all the anger in this place? We can harness that. It really is that. It's like we are we're spiritually unhealthy people if we don't own our negative emotions. If we don't, learn what to do with them. Because we all have them. It doesn't matter how good of a person you are. I get angry all the time. I'm not yelling over it. No, I don't hurt anybody. Let's see, what do we have? So it looks like it makes him feel powerful, but it's false power. Because the only real power is love. I didn't answer that question. Putin and Musk in cahoots? Yeah. Yeah. You can yell into pillows and stuff. I mean, you can just get it out of your system. Go punt. I always tell people to take a kickboxing class. I've never taken a kickboxing class, but it just seems like that'd be a really good way. Just imagine that it's their face. You're not hurting anybody. Anyway, so who are we asking about? Is Stacey Abrams gonna win? I mean, I feel like Stacey's gonna win. I'm gonna pick. I know I'm on this topic for a little while now, but I'm gonna pick 3 cards on Stacey. Specifically, she's dealing with a lot. Stacey Abrams sometimes has to go away and lick her wounds because that's how nasty they are to her. She's a good person. Stacey Abrams is. You came out screaming and never stopped. Your mom said that's funny. Do you go to kickboxing? I bet it's awesome. I think it would be awesome. I should go sometime. This is what Stacey Abrams is up against. And she's angry about the lies, but sometimes she just has to go away and shelter in place and just make herself, give herself a pep talk. Maybe send her a fan letter or something. I would think that would feel good. But it does. Her goodness will... Stacey Abrams' goodness, despite all this... all these attacks, her goodness will shine through. Stacey Abrams' goodness will shine through. I mean, when you think about Beto O'Rourke and Stacey Abrams and all these Democrats that are just the nicest. Joe Biden, the nicest people. There's something really wrong when people don't see that as a good thing. Nothing's going to happen to Hunter Biden. I mean, the Republicans thought they had a big, like, it was something about he didn't pay the right amount of taxes on something. I mean, it's just so. I mean, really, sissy? It's like, seriously, what? It's not like he's going to prison for that. He'll have to pay a fine. If, and Abrams and Beto, in positions of leadership, this country will be a different place. And Warnock and Ossoff and, all these good people, Charlie Crist, Gavin Newsom, who's governor of California now. Just imagine it. All these good people coming together and being in positions of leadership, all these people that are running, all these really good people in charge, winning, makes an entirely different country from where we are right now. Entirely different country. So, hang on. I do think Biden will run again. Yes, Travels, I do think they're going to stop shipping the asylum seekers. Remember, not even a week prior to Hurricane Ian touching down on Florida. That's what DeSantis was up to. And I kind of compare that too to, what's his name in Mississippi? Tate Reeves, the governor of Mississippi. He's all busy taking away women's rights, taking away women's rights, taking away women's rights. And then they have that big flood in Mississippi and people don't have water to drink for a long time. I don't know if they still have to boil their water. So he's all busy, being all like, oh, take away women's rights. Misogynist that he is, disguised as a Christian. And so Tate Reeves, the governor of Mississippi, doesn't help. Doesn't help. That's their true colors. So imagine if the people in positions of leadership are smart, are competent, are experienced, are good people, and maybe even some of them actual Christians or, Jewish people or, that are actually spiritual. Imagine that. Imagine with me. I feel like getting this, soft background music on. Imagine with me that we have people in positions of power and they're good people and they're beautiful people and they have halos around their heads, and imagine the people of America loving one another, and you know what I mean? I really do, my guides say, yeah, they're the betrayers. My guides really say, because I can get all upset about it. And my guides always say, you have to not put energy into how much they piss you off. Yeah, get pissed off, but don't put energy into how horrible this is. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, don't do that. I know it's tempting. And I've also my guides have told me, when a story on the news upsets you because they're talking about worst case scenario. When that happens, yeah, we should pray for integrity. We should pray a lot. We should come together more. When that happens and you see a news story and you're like, oh no, the world is going to end, and just recognize that you are feeding that. Naturally, that's the way you're going to respond. But do not feed it. We don't want to feed it. Thank you for your thumbs up, people. I really appreciate that. Alright, we're going on 99 minutes. So the youth are fighting. Think about the children. Think about, come together right now over me. Come together right now. Okay. I can't sing songs that have copyrights on YouTube because they'll shut me down. Since it's 99 minutes, We are going to, the Beatles is looking up. We're going to sort of wind down. I really appreciate all your thumbs up. It does, I couldn't believe how much it made me more like visible on YouTube. I didn't really know. So let's do that. I mean, there's like 300 people, over 300 people here. If we're all doing that, that's pretty big. Okay, we will answer a question. Oh, I love you too. We will answer a question about what's going to happen to Trump. Can't believe I've been avoiding that one. Well, first off, I'm going to go back to what I saw in the past. What I have seen in the past is the reason for Trump was because there were so many dangerous holes in our democracy. They need to be fixed. Yeah, spread the love. Be nice to everybody. We're being forced to see the holes in our democracy, the dangers that our country is in because Trump revealed those big holes in our democracy. And a lot of those holes were just because we trusted people. So, but at the end, I kind of saw him, I really do see Trump at the end being like his father at the end. He had dementia. I'm not sure if he had Alzheimer's, but they're very, very much connected. I feel like I saw the beginning of the end of Trump today when I saw how incoherent he was speaking at that Latino event. Okay, great. We'll have you at the class tomorrow. I feel like I'm seeing, I do see him in a wheelchair at the end. And I see him penniless, peopleless, like having no friends, and just, it's gonna be bad at the end. So, anybody out there gonna volunteer to be a poll worker? That's a good thing to do. Join Grassroots of Democracy. We meet twice a week. We meet tomorrow on Saturdays at 4:30 Eastern Time. Come to the meeting. We'll show you what we're doing. It's good stuff. So this is Trump. This is Trump. This is the United States. Six of Pentacles, rising above Trump's BS. And Liz Cheney is going to. I know she's not blonde, but this represents Liz Cheney. That woman is determined. That woman, Liz Cheney's like a pit bull, grabbing onto something. She's not going to let go. And she's also determined and committed to taking down Carrie Lake, too. Yeah, Trump is going to end. He will end with nothing. Oh, you don't have to hate saying it. I say it all the time. The reason that we got to where we got was that people didn't want to get involved with politics. Even if you said something political, remember the days where people would be like, oh, I don't get into all that political stuff. I mean, it was rampant in the New Age, arena. It was bad. I mean, I literally heard somebody who was working for Tony Robbins, and he had like all kinds of followers. I won't mention his name, but a motivational guy, and he was like going, oh, don't, this is a couple of years ago. Just one of those guys that gets people to live their best life and motivational. So this guy was saying, oh, don't watch the news. Oh, no, you'll have a better life if you don't watch the news. And I'm like, you're an American? People. This is what happened. We stopped paying attention. Yeah, and those three cards, I saw Trump going down. Not pretty. The January 6th committee has everything on him. He's made this country not safe. We'll be okay, but he's made America not safe. He will pay the price. He'll pay the piper. I've always been aware of politics. I've always been aware of politics. I've always been an activist since as long as I can remember. It's worth it. It's really worth it. Let me kind of wind down here with a little community card, unless it's something that you're dying to know. This is my mug. I'm mostly peace, love, and light, and a little expletive yourself. it's just a joke. And my friend who bought this for me might be watching. The Carrie Lake thing is going to the courts. What's the Carrie Lake thing? Oh, now I have to stay on because I don't know about this. Maybe that was the stuck negotiations. Maybe that was a court thing. Oh, tell me more. I can't leave till you tell me more. Alright, who's got a burning question? Ah, that's great. Thank you for working the polls in Texas. That's nice. Well, one thing is for sure. We can't lose sight of this. Trump made us pay attention. He made us pay attention. We're paying our dues now, but he made us pay attention. Look at all the legal terms we know now. It's like, seriously. All the legal, we all know, we know all these legalists, special master, you know, litigation. It's just like all this, you know, the defendant. There's so many legal terms. But he definitely woke us up because we need to wake up because we have a planet to save, honestly. So, so we'll look at. Oh, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's another one. Oh, Wednesday, my Wi-Fi went down. I reset it, so it was good tonight. Yeah, Glenn Kirshner helps with the legal terms, and Neil Katyal helps with, I mean, what's her name, Joyce Vance, all those. We really are getting quite an education. We are getting schooled. That's for sure. Yeah, it's really, it's been bad, but, you know, if we all get involved, think of the potential of that. No, we're all getting involved. I'm not going to say if. When we all get involved. So I'm going to pick 3 cards, and we'll call it an evening or a day, wherever you are. Yeah, Glenn Kirshner is good. There's a lot of great people on YouTube. I always plug Midas Touch. Those guys are great. They're positive. They're really smart. They know law, and they throw up videos all day. Support Midas Touch. You'll love them. They're great. They are the real deal. They're young guys. Okay, so here's our community cards. The world is going to kind of come together through this crisis that we're having with Putin. Don't worry, he's not going to launch a nuclear weapon. I don't get. Yeah, Midas Touch is very educational. We have a lot of opportunities to learn about our democracy that we never had before, because before we didn't have YouTube. So, the world is going to have reasons to come together this week. Texas Paul is awesome on Midas Touch. The Young Turks are good. Farron Cousins. David Packman is good. Now, we're actually going to see some things coming together this week that are going to make us feel a little bit better. It's true. So don't worry. Let's see if Putin is going to go down. Is Putin going to start losing his steam this week? Yeah, I feel like Free Speech TV. Oh, it's good to know. I'm glad you're putting the names up there. Pacman's pretty brilliant. Sometimes he waxes a little too negative, but I tend to watch the ones more that bring me up. Mary Trump show is also good. She's sometimes it's too. She's not negative, but I'm just saying I need to feel a little bit of sense of there's some hope, right? You know what I mean? And I will calm you at Church of Spirituality every Sunday. You should come if you don't already. Is Putin gonna really lose a lot of ground this week? What I was picking up on was what's going on in with Putin is going to bring the world together in a better way. Oh, you voted! Oh yeah, get out there and vote. Stephanie Miller on Free Speech. I'll have to check out Free Speech TV. I have always got, when people were worried about Putin launching a weapon, when people were worried about it, I tuned in and I was like, there are people around him that will not allow that to happen. I'm not sure who they are. Yeah, good. Yeah, I'm not sure who the people are around Putin, but I get that that's not going to happen because there are people around him that will not allow it to happen. So, before I go, the Magic of Casting Spells is a class I'm holding tomorrow. It's $50, 2:30 to 4 Eastern Time. You need to email me tonight if you want to be part of that class. I'm kind of last minute, so get in. I'll email you back tonight or tomorrow. I'll do my best to email you back tonight. And Mo, Larry, and Curly. Grassroots of Democracy, please send an email just to me, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. That's the quickest way. And we'll get you into Grassroots of Democracy meetings. Oh, that's good. Autumn at Black and Orange is going to be watching it live. That's good. The January 6th committee on Thursday. Brian Tyler Cohen. I can't believe I didn't say Brian Tyler Cohen. I'm a big fan of his too. There's so many. What else? Church of Spirituality. Every single Sunday I do a live uplifting church service. That's my own creation every single week. And I always look forward to it. And this month's theme is spirit. Something about spirit. So please join me for that. And you can always watch the old ones on my channel, like you can watch last Sundays. They're always great. And what else do I have? I don't know. There's so much going on. 20 on Tuesdays. We do a 20-minute guided meditation, and we visualize America healed. Oh, Brian Tyler Cohen reached 1 million subscribers. I don't know if Midas Touch has yet, but they're on their way, and David Pacman on his way too. So don't think we're the only ones that are caring about our democracy. We're not alone. We're a collective energy. And the other day, I'm going to leave you with this. The other day, I think it was Wednesday. Yes, it was Wednesday. I got a huge energy wave it's the women rising up is going to make us hit the critical mass to save our democracy. I will stand by that as sure as the nose on my face. I feel that. So this is the time to be ramping up. This is not the time to get scared and to cower in the corner. This is the time to be like, we are going for it. This is it. These midterm elections are make or break our democracy. We are living in a very precarious time, but we have the power to have things go the way we need them to go so that we all survive. And we have an awesome time. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you if you come to Church of Spirituality on Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow if you come into my casting magic spells class, AnnetteDion7@gmail.com. I'm working on my website. It's going to be more easy to find in the near future. And that's all. Thank you. I love you guys. I feel like I have all these friends and they're all virtual. It's cool. Namaste. See you soon.